Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video, another lovely morning in the world of Newcastle United. If you thought that the madness of the weekend, selling players, bringing players in, PSR deadlines had taken a little bit of a chill, well, you're wrong. Newcastle are not done, and as of this morning have brought in their Dan Ashworth replacement. That's right, Paul Mitchell has officially been announced as Newcastle United's new sporting director. There you go. Plenty to get through today in today's video as always, so if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to do so. Getting closer and closer to that 50,000 subscriber mark. So sit down, take a chill, and I'll tell you a little bit about our new sporting director. I need to start making these cups of tea 10 minutes before I start because I make them and then they're absolutely boiling. But yes, Dan Ashworth is gone for an undisclosed fee following the continuous back and forth with Manchester United. Jim Ratcliffe basically publicly, in my opinion, slamming Newcastle and the owners all over the place in terms of saying that we were awkward, he couldn't work with us, just making up a whole load of rubbish. Well, whether it was PSR deadline or whether Newcastle just got sick of it all, we did finally agree to a fee with Manchester United. It's undisclosed, and it's thought to be the fact that possibly Jim Ratcliffe doesn't want anybody to know that he paid more, and Newcastle United don't want anyone to know that we let him go for less. Some of the numbers that I have seen, and the one that I believe is around 12 million, which is decent. I would take that, especially when it's helping towards PSR and just getting them out of the way. Getting him out of the way, because at the end of the day, we need to move on, like we have done today by bringing in Paul Mitchell and having Dan Ashworth lingering in the background the whole time, and also getting paid to linger around in the background. I appreciate that we stuck our heels into the ground and said, bog off, Radcliffe, you're not taking him. At some stage, I think it's better that we have got on with it and let him go. So he's gone inside for them, and that was the question, what would Newcastle do next? We've already seen, well, basically all the stuff that went over on the weekend, that would have been murdered, really. You know, Ashworth has not been active in this, so it will have been the Newcastle owners trying to get stuff done and dusted. Could Paul Mitchell have potentially have had a little bit of a dabble behind the scenes, ringing them up, going, "Hiya, Paul, I know we've not announced you yet, but can you tell me what to do with this contract?" Who knows? I would never be able to say whether that was true or false, but you know, the announcement coming a few days later, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe he was, in my opinion, was maybe having a little bit of an impact behind the scenes. But as I say, as this morning, Paul Mitchell has been announced as a new sporting director. I forgot what he did for a second. Sporting director of Newcastle United, and I have got my laptop out just to go through a few bits with you when I'm not looking at the screen, so don't worry. He was actually linked with Newcastle not too long ago, back when Ashworth had gone on gardening leave and there was a few different people getting linked with the Newcastle United role. Paul Mitchell was one of them, and it kind of went a little bit quiet. Nothing really happened with it, with him and a few other people we were linked with. And if I'm honest, it was kind of said that he distanced himself from the Newcastle role, and I would assume the fact that he's now taken the role, it wasn't due to the fact that he didn't want it. I think it was possibly due to the fact that he didn't want to get in the mix-up of this whole Dan Ashworth thing, which is understandable. Like, when Ashworth is still technically there, and you come in to take his job, even though he's still hired, is a little bit messy. So going back to what I said about us finally selling him to Manchester United, whatever the fee is, it's just opening up the space and just letting someone come in to do their thing, which there is a lot of excitement for this morning online. I must say, people are just happy to be taking that next step and going forward. So just a little bit on Paul Mitchell. I think he finished his playing career at MK Dons, played a lot of League One, lower league football, and on leaving MK Dons was straight away offered a role like in the backroom staff, not backroom staff, upstairs staff in the recruitment division and was actually then given the head of recruitment at MK Dons. He later then went to Southampton, where I think, if I'm not mistaken, brought in the likes of Mane, which isn't too bad going at all. Then made his move over to Spurs, where he definitely brought in some key players. He was the one credited with bringing in Son and Dele Alli, Trippier. So there's a few players in there that he's got his name against. Obviously, he's probably a lot more, but those are to name a few. And then he decided to switch it up and go abroad and went over to Red Bull Leipzig, who, as we know, have done extremely well over there. And is now, as of today, being announced as the Newcastle United sporting director. So yes, I think we all know what an important season this is for us. We are fighting to keep hold of the likes of Isaac, Bruno, Gordon as the one who just won't leave the headlines right now, which is worrying, if I'm honest. I know that Newcastle and the owners have said Gordon's going nowhere, but if you type in Anthony Gordon into the news, all of the Newcastle reports are he's not going anywhere, and then all of like the Liverpool and like local Liverpool media is that Liverpool could well look to take another look at Anthony Gordon, which isn't great, but in terms of bringing players in as well, to have someone who's that's not his whole role. It is the first team, it's the youth team, it's every team, and we saw since the takeover, Newcastle have definitely taken strides into improving the academy as well. We saw a whole load of players leave the academy at the end of last season, and then literally as of yesterday and the day before, we've started announcing signings of youth talent to the academy as well. We've obviously taking it as more seriously than maybe we had done previously under the previous ownership, which is maybe not surprise to too many, not surprise to me, that we are trying to build for the future. I mean, we've seen Lewis Miley come in and do such a fantastic job. It's inspiring to actually go out and try and build these youth teams, not just concentrate on the first team. I mean, Lewis Miley, unfortunately, has actually picked up an injury that will have him out for the next 12 weeks and will miss the pre-season, which is bad news, especially when we want him to really hit the ground running for us. Probably won't get as much game time this season, but you want him to get a full pre-season under his belt and then really kick on. Reports are that a freak injury has actually taken Miley out for the next 12 weeks, which is not the way you want to start your season, really, so I'm hoping he gets better soon. But yes, big up to the owners, as I say, bringing in the appointment of Paul Mitchell. Exciting to see what he could do. What's he said? He was saying something this morning. He says that he has immense pride that I accept the responsibility of being the Newcastle United's new sporting director. I've seen the recent growth and ambition of the club. This plus the amazing fan base made the decision to join an easy one. I can't wait to get started and help continue the organisation's growth and long-term competitiveness in all areas of football performance. So there you go. Thank you, Paul. I will mention as well, another huge win for the Newcastle owners as of yesterday afternoon, as it's shown that Newcastle have now changed the Newcastle United writing on the top of St James's Park back to the old font. So I presume you guys will have seen it. It's something that I see every time I go to St James's, and it's something that's been under a lot of people's nails as to being one of the final remnants of the Ashley era to finally get changed. They've changed it from like the Sports Direct fonting of Newcastle United into the old font that used to be on St James's Park before Mike Ashley took over. So we've got two huge wins there. Well, 2 wins, 2 losses because of the Miley injury. But I think the Paul Mitchell one is good. Yeah, get Dan Ashworth out the way. Let's start afresh with our sporting director. Let's give Paul Mitchell the tools that he needs to excel. As I mentioned, comes in with a great repertoire of previous signings and a hell of a lot of experience. I'm hoping he can come in and take us to where we want to go this summer. Obviously going to take a bit of time to get his feet under the table of how things work and what's going on. Hopefully he can get in quick enough that he still does have a good impact on us this summer window, and hopefully he can stick around for longer than 12 months or whatever Ashworth did. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, thoughts on Paul Mitchell down in the comments below. Drop a like if you haven't already. Just click the like button. It just pushes this video that little bit further for other Newcastle fans to see, so I really appreciate it. Enjoy your Thursday, enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.